I don't know what makes a robot a robot. It's a good question.
Yeah, because a lot of things are called robots.
Yeah. Right. Does it have to move? Does it have to physically move from one point to another?
I don't know. Is it automation? And in that case, it has nothing to do with movement.
Or is it a machine at that point? A machine is an immobile robot, right?
Like a vending machine isn't a robot.
Right.
But it's not automated either.
It is kind of a robot.
All right.
I'm
just saying.
I mean, I could ask somebody for a Pepsi, and they wouldn't give it to me, but I could ask a vending machine, and they would give it to me. Because all I wanted was just one Pepsi. But she wouldn't give it to me.
Welcome back, everyone, to Wongo's podcast. I'm joined tonight by Svitlongi, Irame, Zavril, and my little bitch minion, Copernicus Hart.
What the hell, Wongo? You know that's not how this relationship works.
Oh, my bad.
Now take it like a bitch.
My bad, carry on.
On, I am carrying.
But not because you told me to.
Give me, Wongo, damn it, give me that mmicrophone back. Fucking Wongo.
Who let Wongo in here anyways?
You.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, so we are back with episode 84 of the Natty 19 podcast.
I like how no one said anything.
You mean like, woo.
Yeah.
It's a lot of episodes.
Yeah. We beat that.
Yeah, we're over that until episode 100.
Wesson update. New Hampshire.
Yeah, he's returned to the Shire.
Really?
No, he's made
Nice.
it to New Hampshire. He'll be staying here for, another week or so? 4 days?
He leaves on Tuesday. He's currently camping in the White Mountains.
Okay, yeah, you heard it here first. So he started in Georgia. He's all the way up here. He went through the nudist colony. He ended up getting some Lyme disease.
Oof.
A little bit of Lyme.
From the nudist colony?
No.
I know, right?
He was,
Maybe while he was there.
He was actually saying that the nudist colony stop in Pennsylvania was one of the best experiences along his journey.
Makes sense.
Said he had a blast. He told a funny story how, they were, because a lot of them still had boxers on and, stuff like that, undergarments, and they were all hanging out. And then they went up to take showers.
Literally.
Yeah, and they went up to take showers. And when they were in the showers, him and his hiker buddies that he met along the trail, and they've been traveling together, he said, he's like, when they were in the showers, they came up with the idea to just kind of leave their clothes off and go back down to where everyone is hanging out buck naked, and be a part of it. so they did, and it was fun. Yeah, from what I hear, they had a good time.
Went in room.
Anyway,
I keep forgetting to ask him what song he sang karaoke of.
Piano Man.
Oh, it's Piano Man?
Told you.
Yeah, I asked him. What? It was Piano Man. Anyway, a little bit of a recap. Does anybody remember what happened last time we played?
Should we do the hit the music?
Oh yeah, hit the music. Does anybody remember what happened last episode?
Yeah, we came down the stairway. We found that weird room with the golem holding the switch, ready to flip it.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So...
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
And then we went further down and into the hallway.
You guys had finished the fight against Withers, decapitating him.
The
Nice
heroics
job,
of
Copernicus.
Yes.
You find a journal.
We decapitated him.
Yeah, you find a journal. There was some. It was obviously belonging to Withers, right? And it was telling a story about his life leading up to the point where he is now, under the, I don't want to call it tutelage, but under the employ of a Sararak, building these contraptions and traps.
He makes the flesh.
I'm picturing that game
Fleshies.
Mousetrap. Remember that game back in the day?
Was it
Mousetrap.
Rube Goldberg?
Yeah.
Talking about Mousetrap, the one with like a million pieces you would all set up and
Yeah.
Yeah, you
balls.
trigger it in it. Yeah,
Ah.
dude. That's how I'm picturing Withers. He likes to set shit up like that and catch adventurers in his little traps.
Like Pee-wee's house?
Yeah,
For breakfast.
that's right. Yeah, very much like Pee Wee's house with more spikes and acid pools and. Look out for the acid pool, Dottie.
I hate when you do Pee Wee.
I would pay good money to just have you DM as Pee Wee for the rest of the adventure.
She just hates
I
it because I
would
break
not.
it out during
Oh.
sex sometimes. You like that, Dottie?
Jesus.
If you DM as Pee-wee,
It's so
we
wrong.
could choose a voice from one voice from each character in the Playhouse and do it. We could have a whole session of Pee-wee's Playhouse plays D&D.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
No one even knows about Pee Wee's Playhouse anymore.
Oh, come on, they do. Of course
it's
they do.
true, they don't.
It's true they don't.
Everybody's into the old shit now.
No.
The old shit is now the new shit.
No, I work with a assload of teenagers and none of them ever know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Like they know about Nirvana. Like that's the extent of like some shit that happened before they were born.
All right. So after finding Wither's journal, you guys went down the spiral staircase. You discovered a room. This room had a little crawl space on one side to the left when you come in. There's like a little crawl space. On the right-hand side, there was another one of those tomb guardians, we're calling them. The armored flesh golems. And he was motionless and his hand was on a lever.
Oh, the flesh composter.
There was a window pane looking down into an auxiliary room below. In this room, there was something weird about it. It looked almost like a cylinder on its side, right? A tumbler, if you will.
That's where they put all the souls.
A soul tumbler.
They just tumble them about. There was no other way to go from that room. So you guys went back down. You went into the spiral staircase again. You went down. There was only one way to go from there, and it appeared to be a dead end. And we left off where Wongo was telling you about a Sararak's clues on the plaques, and that he would suggest that each plaque was tied,
Applicable only to that floor.
applicable to the corresponding floor that it was found on.
So as we stand right now, we are in a hallway that appears to be a dead end, correct?
Yeah. Now remember, you guys, this hallway is, I believe,
Can we
level
see that
4.
map instead?
Yeah, we have an old
Where
map.
we are?
Yeah, let me try to find it.
It's just theater of the mind. It.
That's kind of where I was going with it, but let's open it up. We're in the Tomb of Annihilation. Let's open it up. There you are.
Wait, this was further down the staircase?
Yeah, so you guys, it doesn't take much to realize that this is level 4.
I think we
You
should return to level 2.
Finish exploring level 2?
Yeah.
You guys just want to turn back here? Copernicus has no qualms with that.
We might be out of our depth.
What say you, Hunter? Shall we clear one level of the dungeon at a time?
We cleared 2, I thought.
There was a secret door through the pool room into like a whole nother half of level 2.
Zero, you were questioning even if you cleared level 1, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Yes, I was. I don't think we cleared 1.
Let
'Cause
alone level 2.
We didn't.
Right.
We didn't go down the river.
River, right. So that's like a fuzzy whether or not we count the river as part of the dungeon.
Or if we count it as level 2 or 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you guys doing? I believe, what are we on? 22 hammer? We don't even know anymore.
We don't know anymore.
23
I thought was what
hammer.
it came up
Yeah, I
to.
thought I
Oh,
just
23
heard,
hammer.
Yeah, 23 on the last recording.
23 hammer.
I say we go back and start clearing all the floors. We don't know what we're missing in here.
All right, so we'll head back up.
All right, you guys make your way.
I don't think do we need floor 1? All we're missing is the river.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the rest of us were thinking
But
going back
We
meant
don't
floor
know what
2.
it opens up to.
What do you guys think?
I'm thinking just floor 2.
For once, I agree with the drow.
Zavril has an adventurous heart.
Zavril thinks there's treasures to be had.
Thought you were afraid of the water. You've come a long way.
I feel like there's something that we're missing in there. We still have the crystal skull key.
Oh, yes, we do still have the key.
And you know K-Way's reading this.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta go
Perhaps
down there.
Zavril has a point.
There is the key, and I suppose we did find the key in the river, so perhaps whatever the key is to is down there. That was our calling
Maybe.
to head that way.
I mean, the key could open anything, anywhere in the dungeon, right?
That is true, but
Yes.
we won't know if we're missing something unless we finish looking.
Well, I'll go along with the group, but my vote is level 2.
I'll roll a d20. 11 or higher, I'll go with Savitlangi. 17.
Level 2. You can go back and play in the mud on your own time.
to avoid a stalemate, Irame's just going to go with level 2.
I mean, if we have a stalemate, we could just roll a die or something.
Well, we could do that.
What does Irme really want to do?
Now Irame's curious if that key belongs to something that's down one of the rivers.
Okay, so it sounds like a
Power
die
of
roll.
suggestion.
As a group,
Yeah, die roll.
who wants to do
What's a
it?
die we never use?
D12.
12.
Ten-sided.
We'll roll a 12.
So what's the
Si-
parameters?
6 or lower. How does that work? 6 or lower the water. 7 or
1
higher.
through 6, 7 through 12.
Yep.
Yeah. So 1 through 6 water.
Yeah.
Okay.
No water.
Ooh.
12 on the
Son of a-
die.
Why is fate against me?
Perhaps you would die down there.
So I guess
There was toxic gas in that river.
All right, so which room are you guys traveling back to?
back through the pool room.
Okay, the scrying pool. You make your way up the dusty steps, past those unlit sconces, and into the tiny room with the scrying pool. That alcove is still open, leading into the main hall. Down ahead, you can still see what appears to be heads sticking out from the southern wall in the center of the large room.
Heads? Are
Heads.
these like carved or real heads?
Real heads, they're looking closer, you can actually see them moving,
Did I
looking around.
miss this last time? Did I?
You could barely see them before.
After Withers, did we take an hour rest or anything in that room when we were looking around?
No, Svitlangi wanted to so she could attune the amulet, but we had just taken a rest. So.
Okay. Let's see. I know I casted counter spell, so I have 1 slot left. Okay. So it's not a corridor that we're going. It's like the giant main room
Yes.
that we've found so far, and then so there's the heads in the south, and straight ahead we see the plaque right across the corridor.
Yeah, so remember from this scrying pool, the wall slides open, and you're right, there's no corridor. It leads right into the main room. On the northern side, from the north passage there, that's where the plaque is that Zavril was reading from. So if you were up above and you went down the stairs, it would be right there.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like this room is the intended entry point to level 2. if you were to base it on the discovery of the plaque.
Right.
Let's go. Let's move forward.
So the heads are on the southern wall.
Yeah, southern wall, center of the room.
Ooh.
How many heads? How? What do they look like?
Looks
And
like
are they speaking, moaning,
Looks like
making noise?
it looks like 3, and now at your, it's almost like as you didn't hear them until you actually got this close, and now they're kind of getting riled up.
Can you silence
And,
them?
and by riled up, I mean you do hear moaning and groaning, like.
Do either of you know the silence spell?
I do not have a silence spell on hand, but are you afraid that they would alert somebody? Are they really loud, or are they just kind of? Is it just kind of?
Yeah, I mean their moans are echoing throughout the hall. I would think the acoustics in this room are.
Echoey.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Do they appear intelligent?
No. Xavier would know immediately that they were undead.
I don't want to go near them.
Undead
I'm
of the
nervous.
mindless variety.
Okay, so it's not like they're going to whisper a curse or...
But are they like an alarm system? I think
Right.
that's what Copernicus was.
Remember those bone necklaces we got?
Yeah, I remember
Make you
those.
invisible to undead?
John's like, what?
No, there
I
was,
wouldn't give you such an item.
No. There was more to them than that, though. There was,
That's all I have written was bone necklace, invisible to undead.
We all have them.
There was,
Yeah, Quincy would have had it.
Oh, that's right.
Shit. We don't know what those do.
I know what they do.
Okay. Are we all wearing them? Like, we just assume we are, right?
Right.
I have it written down in my, but I just have bone necklace written down. It's just an accessory. It's just...
Well, if you are wearing them, then you would know that there had been undead that had seen you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So you would know that much.
Maybe it only works on low level.
Would Svitlongi have any of that knowledge at all? Or is that-
Yeah, possibly.
Yes, Svitlongi might
Possibly.
recognize the necklaces.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. That necklace would only be effective against Rosna C's undead minions.
He holds no power here.
Do they appear to be kind of an alarm system, though? Or is it just freaky decoration? I mean,
Can we just
Are you
can we just
I
stuff
mean-
cloths in their mouth?
From honestly, from this distance,
Yeah.
from that doorway, unless you're gonna get closer to really examine the apparatus, or
yeah.
right now it just looks like they're sticking out of the wall, and they're moaning, and it is echoing. But honestly, your combats have been far more loud than these.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cappy will put his buckler up and slowly approach him.
All right, as you approach, they definitely get more riled up. In terms, and as you get closer, it seems that it's a hunger, and you notice in their mouths are bits,
Bits of
8
butt.
of them to be exact. 8-bit, never mind. In their mouth are bits. Is that the right?
Yeah.
What's
For a horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
With leather straps coming up their.
I didn't know that was what that was called. I was like, bits of what?
Bits of flesh, young Erme.
Oh, so they're muzzled.
Yep. So they have each one of them has a bit in
Or,
their mouth
you
with
know.
leather straps coming up their faces, going behind them. You can see that they are the holes. It's the holes coming out of the door aren't tight around their neck, but they are big enough for their heads to fit out of.
Oh, this
So
is
you
a
can-
door.
So you can see it's as you're closer
Oh, that
now,
changes
it's an actual
everything.
door.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool! Like the labyrinth.
And the door looks like it would open up from the ground up.
Are they human
Yeah,
faces?
exactly
They're
like
human.
the labyrinth.
They're human zombies, and
Stick
will
your hand in their
poke
mouth.
one right between the eyes, just fascinated by it.
yeah, it's just trying to eat your hand, but it can't because its mouth has a bit in it.
It's amusing to him.
And looking, you could catch glimpses into the room beyond. Why don't you give me a perception check, and we'll see exactly how much you gather from looking.
Longer.
All right, I am looking.
Irame will, when she sees Copernicus relax in front of the faces, she will join him, stand next to him.
Now, Zavril, it's worth mentioning, these are, you could tell right away, these are 3 zombies. I don't know if Zavril's ever seen undead being harnessed in such a way to where they're strapped up and they got bits in their mouths. Like, what's the point of a zombie that can't bite, right? It's very odd.
Irame will take a look. Move over, Copernicus. Let me have a look. 13.
Yeah, as you're looking, as you guys are trying to look through where they're like,
Foul creatures.
moving their heads all around, so it is hard to really paint a good picture of what's in the room beyond, but you can tell that the straps are actually joined to chains. So they're tied to a chain that's actually going straight up above them and then behind them. So it's definitely some sort of linkage. It's an apparatus of sorts, mechanical.
This has got to be some sort of trap or...
Beyond, you also catch a glimpse of a chariot.
Who would do such a thing?
They're rigged together like horses.
Perhaps if we explore some of the passages on this level of the dungeon,
Floor 1.
of the tomb, then we may be able to approach this room from another direction and get a better sense of what's going on in here.
And if Cappy pins one of the heads with his buckler, can you see anything else in there looking around? Can you see around the corner a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. You take your buckler, you pin the head off to the side. As you're doing so, it's and its body is shifting. You can feel its neck almost start to crack a little bit as it's happening.
Gross. Very,
I know, right?
very terrible
Trying to
scene
get a better look in the room.
you're painting at the moment.
Yeah, on the far end of the room, large room this opens up in. I mean, there's a massive chariot in the center. And behind the chariot, you can catch a glimpse of a shield or a crest of sort hanging on the wall in the center of the room, or in the center of the southern wall. To the left and right, you see statues of what appears to be Chultan warriors.
Copernicus, can you see if there's a sigil or an engraving or anything on that shield?
Yeah, he's looking. Can I check you on?
Yeah, on the shield it looks. You see, no, no. There's definitely engravings, but it's hard. It's a picture of sorts, but with the chariot in the way, it's really hard to get a clear picture of it.
Gotcha.
Now I can also
It's 70 feet away.
Can we see what's
Yeah.
in the chariot at all?
in the chariot
Looks like a sarcophagus.
a box.
Yeah, but
from
would
this
we be
angle.
able to see it? Yeah.
Right. It does look like a box from this angle. Now, as you're looking, you hear the chains as the zombies are pushing against the door, trying to get at you. The chains are being tugged on, and the door is moving a little bit.
Perhaps we should try to find another approach to this room.
It's just some zombies. It's nothing we can't take care of.
It's not the zombies I'm concerned about.
And as Cappy says that, he kind of crunches its head a little bit more before releasing it.
It snaps, crackles, pops a bit, and then it's released. It hangs limp for a little bit before again lifting up,
Easy, Copernicus.
trying to get at you. They look hungry. They got an eternal hunger. They have not eaten in decades, it seems. And I mean, just your mere presence are forcing them against the door.
This could be some sort of puzzle or trap. If we kill one of them, it might eliminate our chance of getting in the room.
It's obviously a puzzle, or else they would have already been dead.
Perhaps I could look at the chains and see what mechanism I could figure out.
Absolutely. Give me a investigation check.
Oh, great. +0. 9.
9. You guys see Svitlongi. She's trying to examine the apparatus, but she's struggling to figure out the mechanics of it all.
Perhaps one of you could take a look and see if you could figure out how these chains
I'll
work.
assist whoever.
All right, Cappy will take a look. Natty 20.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
That was actually a single die roll.
I know.
Good thing I was here.
Copernicus, looking in, you look up, you see the chain where it's attached, and just the movement of the zombies, the way they're pressing against the door, trying to get at you. You can see in the way the door is kind of shifting a bit. It's almost like it's forcing it down as they're moving towards you.
I'll point that out to Svetlongi, kind of arrogantly.
As you can see, Snake Woman, obviously.
The chain is definitely, without a doubt, attached to this door somehow.
So as they're pushing forward, it's forcing the door down.
So Svetlongi will ignore Copernicus's tone, and she will just grab onto her symbol of Seth, and she will mutter, "By he who is more ancient than death, you will part." And she'll use her turn undead ability.
All right.
I think that means you got to give me a saving throw. If they're low enough level, they'll get destroyed completely.
Oh. Whoa.
Well,
Are
let me
they
see,
too
let
low
me
of a
see.
level?
Did we just fucking turn them to dust?
Hey, they won't be pressing up against the door.
We need them to. We need the door to lower to get in, correct?
Maybe the chains will just, fling up. It's probably another way.
I just had to imagine Svetlongi saying that.
Svetlongi, your holy symbol begins to glow a dark aura. And the zombies shy from it at first, but then immediately heads sink into the holes as they start to escape that darkness. And as they do so, you hear rumbling all throughout this hall as the chain and the zombies, now you can see as the door is beginning to lift, the zombies are struggling to lift this thing as they're moving. They're moving, a lot slower. It's a heavy door. It's got to be at least 1,000 pounds. The three zombies together.
Their heads just don't rip off.
Yeah, you actually see the flesh on their necks just beginning to tear as the door opens.
Gruesome
as they go as far as they can. The door fully opened, and they're just still trying, but they can't. They just can't go any further.
After you, Copernicus.
I am impressed, Svetlongi. You'll have to teach me how to do that someday.
I doubt that will be possible.
And, we'll follow in slowly as the zombies are backing up.
As you move into this massive chamber, you notice...
They built it over a cemetery.
You moved the headstones?
They didn't move the damn bodies.
As you move into this room closer to the chariot, you notice 4 tiny pillars are supporting the ceiling. To the left and to the right, 6 total glass cauldrons line the east and west walls, 3 on each side. Glass cauldrons inside the dirty, blemished glass cauldrons. Piles of human remains. Bones.
Those are some big cauldrons. They're like almost 10 feet in diameter.
Yep. These bones have long been stripped of their flesh.
Oh no.
To the left and to the right of the shield against the southern wall, you now see, from your position now, there's a total of 4 statues of Chultan warriors. These warriors, 2 of them are wielding spears, 1 of them is wielding a sword, and the 4th one has no face.
Are the weapons part of the stonework of the statue, or are they separate weapons?
They're built into as part of the statue. There's an inscription above.
Is the face broken off, or is that how it's made? Just a smooth stone?
Looks like it was purposefully made with no face. Now, on the chariot is a bronze sarcophagus with mounds of treasure strewn atop it. Paintings on the chariot's body show a tall bird with a long, sharp beak.
Moa.
No, you fool. It's Papazotl. I am familiar with this one.
You fool.
Fool, child. Papazotto.
On the shield, you now see the engraving of a Chalton warrior carrying a spear, and below, an inscription that reads, "Bow before no one." And that's when you notice the 4 bronze statues standing on pedestals on either side of the shield, depicting the Chalton warriors, one holding a sword, 2 with spears, and 1 missing its face.
Bow before no one. Perhaps we should bow as the dead god intoned.
Now, Irame, you're looking around at these cauldrons and you hear, I think it's safe to say at this point, an almost comforting voice. It's nervous this time, and it's Obalaka. Irame, I have a bad feeling that these cauldrons may contain the bones of Papazottle's most zealous devotees, who, even in death, may seek to protect him.
Are you telling me these bones will animate?
It is just a feeling, if I know Papazottle. If it were up to me, I'd leave this one alone.
Cappy's just inching closer and closer to that mound of treasure. You can't help it.
Where's the mountain of treasure?
On top of the sarcophagi.
I was trying to look something up.
I have been warned that perhaps these skeletons will animate to protect Papazottle. I wouldn't touch the jewels, Copernicus. Not until we've solved whatever riddle exists in this room.
That's a good point, Irame.
Put that one back that's in your pocket.
We are, though, in need of jewels when we come to the Froghemoth, are we not? The frog will be tamed by a jewel. You've been looking for gems, right, Copernicus?
Right.
Now, Copernicus, something catches your eye to the side. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a shadow elongating from your feet, taking the form of a monkey. And you hear, as bossy as this one is, I believe we could use his powers to remove ourselves from this vile tomb.
How can we get it inside the elf? We can get rid of Obalaka. Obalaka's doing nothing but dragging us down anyways.
I believe it won't be all too much of a different process than what we've already been through. All she would need to do is touch the corresponding item that Papazottle is bound to. Which one is it, I wonder?
And then Cappy will speak up.
We should try to find the item that Papazotto is bound to. Like the other items we found. Something tells me we're gonna need all these 9 gods anyways.
Perhaps, but I do not like this one. This room is rather menacing.
What do you guys do?
So what do we think? We know we have the clue to bow as the dead god intoned, and we also have the bow before no one.
Yeah, for just giggles, at Cappy at some point, if we're walking freely about the room, he will bow in front of the faceless one. Just like an impromptu, little curtsy.
The statue has no name.
A curtsy.
Copernicus bows before the statue with no face. Cold wind originates from somewhere, you're not sure where. It could be cracks in the walls, and it moves through the room and escapes through the northern door.
Do you think that bowing will unleash whatever is in here so we can retrieve the item? Or do you think it will keep us safe?
I have no idea.
Spitlongi, will you bow before the faceless statue?
We have contradicting clues as to direct our behavior. Is there anything more to examine or anything to analyze with these clues?
Perhaps the clues do not contradict themselves. We first heard bow as the dead god intoned. If the dead god is indeed
Papazotto.
Papazottle, and then we're told to bow before no one. They don't actually contradict themselves. We are bowing, as Papazotto intoned, in front of no one.
A faceless statue.
Ah.
At that, Irme will bow.
Again, cold wind moves throughout the room.
I will walk up in front of the statue, but Zavril is not going to bow in front of it.
Are we sure we want to initiate whatever this will trigger? That was like half Svilangi, half Quincy.
Yeah.
I would agree with Quincy. I believe that we will need whatever's inside of these.
If Quincy were here, I'm sure he
Or
would.
not Quincy, Kathy.
Perhaps we should look at the shield.
The shield has the engraving, again, a picture of the Chalton warrior wielding a spear. Something ominous about it. Menacing, even.
It rather reminds me of Zimwabi.
Do you miss him?
I do. You do not?
Sometimes. I did grow to enjoy him.
He's an honorable man.
He was a coward, Zavril says as he remembers the first time that he said he wasn't going to fight.
But a coward who has helped us in many ways. It's likely that one of us could be dead without the aid of Zimwabi.
The mound of treasure.
Yeah, there's some treasure strewn atop the sarcophagus. So even opening it would, you'd have to disturb the treasure to even open the sarcophagus.
Perhaps if all of us bow in front of the statue, the shield will be released without having to come into combat with the skeletons and Papa's fucking whatever his
I'm
name
not
is.
bowing before a statue.
Now, atop the sarcophagus, worth mentioning, the treasure. It's a gold torque, 3 gold cups, 5 gold cloak pins. It looks to be an amulet of sorts.
Ooh. Can you detect magic?
And that's it.
Remember if any of
I
us
don't
could
think
do
I
that.
have detect magic.
What's a torque?
A collar, I believe, a neck collar.
The zombies that are turned right now, how long does that last? I imagine they're kind of like in the middle of the room-ish.
Minute.
I imagine at any point, yeah. Well, let me go ahead and. Yeah,
Oh.
I imagine at any point, Svitlongi, you have you know that at any minute you could snap your fingers and eradicate these zombies at will.
Would the door stay open?
As long as they fail their save. But the
They had already failed their save.
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But we have no other way out of here that we know of. And the other thing is I'm worried about all the stuff that's going to come alive when we trigger whatever it is we trigger in this room. We have 4 statues, 6
Cauldrons
that may even be like in a, what was that video game? Gauntlet. They may even be
Just
like
keep
Gauntlet.
spawning.
Just keep spawning skeletons. You know?
Yeah, the cauldron's like lit.
Oh no, they're blemished
glass.
glass cauldrons that are just filled with clean bones.
I wonder
Human
if we break the cauldrons.
There is, though, if it's like any of the other rooms, you know, if for instance, if we wore the masks in the throne room that we were in, we made it out there without having to battle anything but.
What about those damn chests?
Was Obalaka in the throne room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So we got
and
Obalaka.
we didn't have to battle Obalaka.
No.
So we solved that. We followed the rules of that room, and there was no battling Obalaka. Perhaps if we follow the rules of this room, there will be no battling
I agree with the elf.
Papazotl.
The faster you two swallow your pride and bow before the faceless one, the quicker we can get on with this.
What exactly would you like us to get on with, Drow? What if the 4 statues come at us, as well as the 6 cauldrons spawning endless skeletons, endless dead.
Did Seth raise you to be that cowardly?
He raised me to be cautious
Could we
and
not-
to know the situation that we're about to enter.
Could we not flee the room and then you could command the dead to close the door?
I do not have command over the dead.
A turn undead. Oh, yes.
Boo.
Mm.
Elf.
Can you? Well, if you can preemptively end the curse, then they would chase us out of the room. Well, then the door might shut before we leave.
If we could preemptively end the curse, wouldn't that be nice?
What do you mean, end the curse?
Well, how
Death
long?
curse?
I think she meant end the undead, turn undead.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. And the spell.
But what would
I
that do for?
misspoke.
What would that do for us?
It would close
Trap
the
us
door.
in
They
here.
would chase us, but we wouldn't be able to make it probably before they close the door. Unless we could flee, you could end the spell, and then the door would shut
Are you suggesting?
after we left the room.
Okay, so you're thinking as an escape route.
So we follow the rules of the room. If all
Yeah.
goes haywire, we flee the room immediately. You end the spell. The door shuts, and we can deal with whatever manages to escape into the hall, which would be far less than battling everything in the room.
Okay.
And we
Well,
can actually...
going by your logic, Erame, then one person would have to come in here and bow without anyone else in the room.
No. What I'm saying is we all bow, and if we see
But
these...
you are bowing in front of someone.
Right. She's saying if we can't handle whatever's here and decide to flee, then I could have the zombies be destroyed. We could escape and have the zombies be destroyed
and shut the door.
and shut the door behind us as we flee.
We don't all need to be bowing together in front of the statue. Both Copernicus and I bowed, and there was a creepy wind. I'm sure you could bow, and then Svitlangi could bow.
But seeing as you guys are scared, we'll wait here beside you while you do your bowing.
Doesn't
I
that go
am
against
convinced.
what
I
the...
am convinced that having an exit plan makes me more amenable to following these clues, this riddle.
So we all agree. We
No.
flee if any...
No. April does not agree.
Okay, so the majority of us agree.
What is
If-
your plan, Hunter?
If we bow and things begin to animate, then we can flee the room.
Oh,
All
things
right.
will animate.
You stated earlier that we are to bow as the...
Dead god intoned.
Yes. And then we are to bow in front of no one.
And that
if
would
you
be
are to bow while there are people inside the room, you are bowing in front of someone.
no,
before.
but we went
bow
over this.
before no one. There's a difference in the way. So not bow in front of, it's bow in... It's before
Including
someone.
us as the people, I think.
Yeah, but it doesn't because
We had gone over this and decided that the faceless statue is no one. So if you bow before the faceless statue, then that fulfills the bow before no one.
unless we were supposed to bow before the shield.
I don't know. There were winds blowing.
Yeah, but that could have been what happens when you bow in front of the wrong fucking one.
Right.
Wasn't ominous wind too, wasn't it? Did you say that?
I mean,
There can. It was a cold wind. There
I
couldn't
mean,
be.
how many people need to bow in front of a statue before it
I don't know.
triggers?
I would assume all of us need to bow before a certain amount of time, or we.
How
die.
would this room know how many of us were
Svitlangi
in
will stride over in front of the statue with no face, and she will do a formal bow.
Again.
an ominous wind?
Unlike Cappy's curtsy.
He's curtsy.
I imagine
Like
Cappy's
dance.
bow would be incredibly awkward. He doesn't bow in front of anybody.
No.
The shadow of Wongo beside him, bowing as well.
That or I'm fine just stuffing these trinkets in my satchel here, and we can head on our way.
We shouldn't disrupt the grave. That for sure would animate the skeletons. I'm almost certain.
What pose is on the shield for the guy with the spear?
Looks like a fighting stance. Or it looks like he's about to throw it, you know? Like you would, like a Chalton warrior would be throwing a spear.
All right. Well, I guess Zavril will do a half-assed bow while nobody's looking.
Are you bowing to the statue or Or you're just bowing where you are?
Well, I was in front of the statue. I had been looking at it the
Oh,
entire
okay.
time.
Gotcha.
18 on my perception
All right.
check. Pretty sure I saw that. Zabel.
Again, the wind blows by you
But nothing, huh?
and escapes up through the northern passage.
Where the fuck is that wind coming from? Why don't you use your 18 perception on that?
Technically 19.
So all of us bowed, and so far nothing is.
Nothing has happened.
I'm not surprised.
Come on, let's crack this sarcophagus open.
I'm wondering if we destroy the cauldrons, perhaps that would prevent them from animating.
Like the cauldrons are enchanted.
Is this like
Perhaps.
bulletproof glass or like we're going to be able to smash it?
No, you can smash it. It's just a regular glass. Looks like... Yeah, I mean, it's got... Like all objects, it's got armor class and hit points. Vulnerabilities. Obviously, because it's glass, it's going to be vulnerable to bludgeoning and thunder, and it's also going to be immune to poison and psychic.
Sounds
Like
a
all
bit of a
glass.
stat block, huh?
Makes me look at my beer bottle in a whole new light.
The only real interest in here would be to have whatever item that can aid us further.
So all four of us bowed before the faceless statue, and nothing happened.
Except for the wind.
So I think the thing now would be to go to the loot on the sarcophagus or to the shield on the wall. Perhaps the shield is the item.
Yeah, did we ever get a clearer picture of what was on the shield?
Yeah, the spearman.
Oh. Again,
Looks
I was
like he's
looking
about
at
to
I was
throw
looking
the
at
spear
stuff in
in a
D&D
fighting
Beyond.
stance.
Yeah, so a Chalton warrior in like the position like he's about to throw a spear.
I said it was reminiscent of Zimwabi.
I will bow in front of the spear or the shield. There you go.
Don't bow. What are you doing? We're not dead. Don't bow in front of anything else.
I'm actually curious to see if a wind blows.
Yeah, I am too.
All right.
Cappy stands behind him.
Whoa, you sick?
right, in
Drow
his ear,
finger.
right in his ear, huh?
In the back of the neck.
Irame will just look on nervously.
No,
Does
seriously,
does
though.
anything happen?
Are you bowing before the shield?
Yes.
Nope, nothing happens.
All right.
No wind.
No wind.
So perhaps we did it right.
I don't know. Go bow in front of one of those other statues. See what happens.
No.
No.
Even if the what bravery Irame has would cause her to do that, being that she's got the passenger that she has. She's very cautious.
Feel like I'm playing an old school RPG where I'm about to do this by trial and error. You know, flipping them each in order. Switch 1, switch 3, 4, 2, stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Perhaps we should all try to bow simultaneously.
I believe we passed the bowing section, folks. I don't think we need to bow anymore.
I think
Feel?
only one person should be in the room
I feel
while
like
they bow.
I don't know. Nothing happened.
Copernicus,
feel like
you hear
nothing
a
was-
voice.
High elf
feel
is
like
showing.
I feel like nothing was supposed to happen.
Copernicus, you hear a voice in your ear. Well, look at all these brave ones. I grow bored of this room. What are we doing, Copernicus?
You know, as boring as this room is, you should see the ocean. Boring thing I've ever seen in my life.
It can't be half as bad as watching your lot decide what to do next.
Yes, it's torturous at times.
Please entertain me, elf, and let us just try to bow simultaneously, and then we can move on to doing whatever you would advise.
Do you think to bow simultaneously in front of the faceless
Cappy
statue?
will grab up your guys' hands like we just performed a show. And he's making a performance of it.
Well, let's get on with it then.
Irame will reach out to grab Zavril's hand.
He starts
Are
doing
we
like
each in front of our own statue?
Thank
Or
you,
am I still
thank
in front
you.
of this shield?
I assume we're all in front of the faceless statue, are we not?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that sweet? Nothing happens.
Not even a wind?
No.
No.
Ah, God damn it.
This is stupid. And he kicks Bones across the floor.
At nothing happening,
You just see the shadow of Wongo elongating from you, Copernicus. And you guys can see this too. And he's going over to the sarcophagus. And it looks like he's digging through treasure, but nothing's moving.
What do the other statues look like again?
You got 2 spear guys, a sword guy, and a faceless guy.
And
Dude,
the faceless guy has no
smashed
weapons
one of
for some reason.
I've just been.
So the weapon guys have faces, and the faceless guy has no weapons.
That's right.
Let us inspect the loot.
Yes, let's divvy it up at least. And Cappy will go over to it.
While they're doing that, I think Svitlana's going to try to break one of the... She'll pick one of the corners and try to break maybe the top left corner, the northwest corner. She'll just take that staff of the serpent and she'll just start banging against the glass of the cauldron.
All right, give me an attack roll.
16.
16's a hit. Roll damage.
Staff 1d6, 1d8.
I think it's 1d6 for a staff, but it's vulnerable, so it's times 2, right?
Okay, so then it's 6, 12, so that's double die. Hold on. 10 damage.
10 damage is enough to shatter the cauldron. The bones spill, the clean bones spill out all
Clean.
onto the floor.
He keeps saying clean bones.
Yeah, the rattling of bones as it just spills out onto the floor. When you guys are standing over the treasure again, you've got a gold torque, 3 gold cups, 5 golden cloak pins, and an amulet.
I will lift the amulet up with the packed weapon. Looks at Irame, because, doesn't like Obalaka. But then he flicks it over to Zavril to catch.
Sure, I'll catch.
Just because he's closer, I would have done Svitlongi probably, but...
All right, Zavril, you catch... Well, why don't you... Yeah,
Do I need to roll
catch
for this?
It. No, I mean, you catch it.
I'm pretty high.
Why don't you roll a dex check?
Smashes him in the face.
He's a fucking hunter, or an adventurer. Of course, he's gonna catch. If he wants to catch it, he's gonna catch it. Zavril, as you touch the amulet, a cold wind flows throughout the room, and you are instantly transported into a dark space with soft lights pulsating.
Irame's going to elbow Copernicus, like, we know where he's at.
Strange shadows shift across, now somewhat soft glowing walls from the light, forming the outline of a long-legged bird, and its beak stabs at you as a voice echoes throughout your mind. You will do as I command.
Oh, shit.
And you feel an invasive force.
Papa Zoddle's not messing around. I thought he'd be nicer.
Zavril
No, I'm
is
pretty
going
sure
to
from
try
the
to
story
resist.
he's a
All right, give me a
Papa's always a dick.
charisma.
Oh, fuck.
What do you mean? Zavril's so charming. Very persuasive.
Ooh, not bad.
13.
Oh, no bonus.
No bonus.
The DC was 16.
It's worse than I thought.
Oh, no.
Zavril wanted the frog. That's why I kept wanting to go into the water.
Oh.
Zavril, you try like hell to resist the force of this commanding presence. But he is just too much. And you are now possessed by Papa Zoddle's spirit.
I'm picturing like a flamingo, but like a white bird.
It's the
Like
Ebly,
a-
yeah. It's
an
the
Ebly.
Ebly. Yeah.
That's what they look like. They're like long-legged, storkish.
Yeah, yep. Remember that? And they're the smart evil birds.
Oh,
The intelligent
gonna go
evil
well.
birds.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
yeah,
evil,
yeah, these
huh?
are nasty ones. Nasty critters. Dick bird.
You see Zavril stand in his See Zavril stand. He clearly disappeared there for a second. You know, his eyes kind of went vacant. And when he returns, he's got a little bit of a different posture about him. And Zavril, you hear again. From here on out, we will do as I command. Am I understood?
Do I have any resistance to this?
Absolutely. I mean, you have
He's
control
just
of
a voice.
You have control of yourself.
Hey, Zavril, it feels pretty good, right?
Hopefully he's got a cool power.
And I'm gonna reply to him. I understand.
Good. I'm glad we have an understanding. Now, shall we get on with it?
Zavril's going to tell everyone to leave the room. I think it's time we go. We're done in this room.
I agree. It's rather morbid in here.
I don't want to look in the sarcophagus. Might be something cool in there, that's all I'm saying.
Perhaps. And also, do you think it'd be safe to
Right,
grab
we've
the
got
gems now for the frog?
Yeah, let's take all the treasure.
Svidlangi will just keep going and smashing all the glass.
Nice. Getting like a Clockwork Orange vibe going on there.
I love the sound of breaking glass.
Yeah, so it's a bit long. He's going around smashing the place up.
Grab what you need to grab and
Stuff
let's
all
move
the
on to the next
treasure in
room.
the bag and try to crack open the sarcophagus. No, yes, no.
Maybe not quite yet.
Okay.
I want
Did we open Obelaka's?
No. Yes.
Yes.
That's where we got
Zavril,
the
you
ring.
hear that voice again. Tell your minions they're wasting their time. Let's be on with this.
Like I
they're-
said, there's nothing left in this room. We should go.
You need to be a little more forceful, lest they
We need to
overthrow.
go now. There are other rooms for us to explore.
There you go. You're getting the hang of it.
Actually, it does
Zavril
not.
2.0, I'm already liking them more.
I am perfectly content with moving on.
As am I.
Once I
You got
gather
your
everything
treasure,
up, let's
elf. Drow.
Half drow. Half man, half pig. Drow man pig.
All monkey.
Dick Bird.
Very well. We'll see you next time on the Natty 19 podcast.
go. I'm another one possessed.
God damn it, I wanted the frog.